Hey guys, it's beautyriotx, and today we are talking about high-end versus drugstore. I'm gonna do one side of my face with high-end and one side with drugstore, and then we're gonna compare and see which side looks better, which products look better, which products were worth the price, do you think? And honestly, I'm just here to show you that there's not too much of a difference. 90% of the high-end products that I'm gonna show you are products that I love. There's a few things that I am using for the first time that I haven't before from high-end. There's a few things on the drugstore side that I am just using because they're some of my cheapest products from that genre. 90% of products from both sides are things that I really do like. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm using two palettes for each side. For my expensive side, I'm using two Viseart palettes, two of my favorites. This is the Grande Pro 1. This is an all matte palette. And then as like a topper, I'm using the Grande Pro 2, which is all metallic. And for the drugstore and expensive side, I'm using two Wet n Wild 10 pan shadows. These are their newer ones. I have my Glamour Squad right here and Cosmic Collision, which is one of these I'm gonna use again for a topper. So let's just get into it. I'm gonna kind of speed through like I normally do, but I will kind of lift the palettes up and show you each shade that I'm using. I'm gonna go in with my SL Miss Glam SB68 brush. I got this in an Ipsy, and it's one of my favorite brushes, so let's get into it. Don't forget, high-end side, drugstore, affordable. All right, so for this side, I did add a tiny, tiny pinch of the black when I dipped into this the last time, just to kind of deepen it up a tiny bit. But other than that, I kept it mostly with just that last transition shade. All right, and now we're gonna go in to top our lids with some glitter, and we're gonna use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue on this side, and the NYX Glitter Primer on this side. And I'm gonna go in with this blue kind of monochromatic shade right here from the Grande Pro 2. I'm gonna put that all over my lid. All right. Now we're gonna go over to the right side with the NYX Glitter Glue. And I'm gonna go into the Cosmic Collision Wet n Wild, and I'm gonna use this teal metallic shade right here, which isn't exactly a total dupe for the Viseart, but it's as close as we're going to get, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a bit deeper in shade, but I'll actually top it with some other stuff from this palette to see if I can brighten it up a tiny bit. Oh, that is a beautiful shade though. Like, it's a nice deep teal. They're totally different. So let's see what else I can go in with. Okay, there's nothing here that I can top it with. Maybe I can top it with a little bit of this purple right here. It's definitely not making it bluer, but it's making it a little bit more shimmery, I guess. This other Wet n Wild, maybe I can top it with this blue right here. Let's see if that'll do anything. I don't think it's gonna do too much because it's just kind of like a light blue. It's still pretty. It's just not as bright, but that's okay. We're just gonna ignore it. All right, and I think we're gonna go in kind of closer to the inner corner. Not quite the inner corner, but We're gonna go in with this shade right here and this shade right here from Cosmic Collision. So here's the Wet n Wild Cosmic Collision right here. Dust that off, and here is the Viseart. Okay, they were similar enough. All right, so let's finish the rest of the face. All right, so now let's get on with primer, and I have the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer, and I'm putting it against my Catrice Prime and Fine Beautifying Primer. Now these actually have the same look and consistency, so I figured I'd put them against each other. And I do actually have a slightly more expensive primer. It's the YSL, but I mean it's a small size. But I don't have anything in comparison like to Drugstore, so I figured that probably wasn't going to be very helpful. Okay, might have been a lot. I don't know, it's fine, it's fine. I've never actually used this one before, so I'm intrigued to see how I like it, because I really do like the Catrice Prime and Fine. I do have to say though, it's extremely annoying only doing one thing on one side of your face. Like normally if I'm doing my makeup, I'd be going like this, but I can't because there's rules. All right, now for foundation, we have the Sunday Riley Influencer, which isn't my favorite. I honestly don't love this, but that's okay. And we're putting it up against the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. Now, I don't think either of these, this says it's full coverage, I don't think it is. This is medium to full. I feel like it's medium. So let's just hope the colors aren't so off that I look horrible. So for this one I have 140, and then I have F7 for the Makeup Revolution. Okay, it's better. This kind of reminds me of the smell of the Urban Decay Naked Skin. It kind of smells like paint. And hold the fucking phones. If you guys haven't tried the new Wet n Wild Beauty Blender, it's the shit. Yeah, you can definitely see my imperfections peeking through, but that's okay. It doesn't actually bother me. But it does give like a nice like natural finish. I like that. All right, now we're gonna go with the Sunday Riley. This feels very weird because normally I will put this on my like metal plate. I don't know why I'm not doing that now, but okay, not a horrible like difference. I definitely see a little bit more yellow. Maybe it's a little bit lighter on this side, but the finish isn't too far off. All right, now we're going on to cream contour. So I have the NUDESTIX Tinted Blur Stick in medium 7 against the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in C12. This is like my go-to. This is on the newer side, but I really do like it. I do think they're very similar though. And if you've never watched my channel before, this is what turned me on to cream contouring. I was like a total pussy before I tried that. I was like, oh no, cream anything. Oh no, this was life-changing. Now I'm gonna go in with the NUDESTIX. Oh, yeah. I thought I grabbed the Wet n Wild sponge. This one is a little bit more, I guess, sheer than this one, so I'll have to go in with a little bit more. I'm gonna drag it up a tiny bit. Yeah, you can definitely tell this is much more subtle than that. Next is concealer, and we are going to use the Julep Cushion Complexion 5-in-1 Skin Perfector with Turmeric on this side. I have the shade 130 Ivory against the Maybelline Fit Me in number 5 Ivory. Normally I would put concealer on before my foundation, but I forgot today. think I need a tiny bit more concealer on this side. All right, we're gonna set everything, and we're gonna go in with the Mer The Powder on this side. I didn't just buy this for this video. I've had this a long time. Candy Johnson made me buy this a few years ago. This is very expensive. And I'm gonna put it against the Fit Me Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder. I have two shades because the fair is way too light and the light is kind of dark, so I kind of mix them. So we have, I'm pretty sure this only comes in one shade. I think it's like translucent, but I don't know if you could actually get away with this if you have a deeper skin tone. But I do have to say I love this powder. And this is like my special occasion powder. I don't use this very often because the thought of buying this again horrifies me. Dust this off a little bit, and I'm gonna mix a little bit of each of these. Like, look how deep that is. Like, I don't understand how it's supposed to be light. Just weird to me. All right, and now let's do brows. On the one side, I'm gonna go in with the Benefit Brow Contour Pro in the shade Brown Medium. I got this from Influencer, and I actually really do like it. Like, it's one of the pens from the 80s and 90s that you click down, there's all different colors. And I know people love Benefit brow stuff. I don't buy much of their stuff though, I gotta be honest. I do really like this, but I probably wouldn't have tried it had they not sent this to me. And for the affordable side, this is one of my favorite brow lines. This is the Maybelline Total Temptation. This is not sponsored by Maybelline either, just so you know. Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer. I have the shades Blonde that I use on the inner corner, and then Medium Brown that I use for the rest. Although I do have to say, I kind of like the way this side looks a little better. All right, so let's finish the eyes. I'm gonna go back in with my Viseart Volume 1 on this side, and I'm just gonna smoke the bottom out. And I think I'm actually just gonna use these two at the bottom to smoke out the bottom lash line. I'm gonna go in with the Cosmic Collision this shade, and then the My Glamour Squad this shade to smoke out this side. Pretty close. All right. Now for eyeliner, I'm going to use the Ardency in Modster Smooth Ride Recharged Eyeliner. This was a recommendation years ago from Jaclyn Hill that she swore by, and I fell for it, and I really like it. Really nice black that stays all day. And on this side, I'm going to use the ColourPop Gel Liner in Swerve, which is just a nice plain black. Now I will say the Modster definitely stays a little bit better, but all right, now we're gonna go in and bronze. And for the affordable side, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Contour Palette. I'm gonna use the deeper shade from the Douche de Leche. Douche de Leche? I don't know how to fucking pronounce it, whatever. This side, I'm gonna be using my Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in Tastic. All right, and now we're gonna do blush. And for blush, I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Keep It Peachy Color Icon Blush. This is one of their newer ones, and it's sensational. Sensational. I've already picked up a backup, even though I've never gone through one of these, but there's always a first time for everything. And I mean, as you can see, this is a very, very orange blush, but it's also very amazing. And yes, I know these aren't the same shades, but I don't care. We're gonna go in with Benefit's Galifornia right here. I know, it's, again, it's not the same color, but it's beautiful, and it's my most expensive blush. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. It has like a little bit of a satin feel to it, but all right, and now we're gonna go in with highlighter, and we have the LA Colors Strobing Illuminator in Champagne for the affordable side. And I was, oh God. I was going to use one of my jelly highlighters because they're just my favorite lately, but I've been using them like crazy, so I figured I'd switch it up. And this is Probably, like I said, my most affordable. And for my expensive side, I'm gonna use my Lancome Dual Finish Multitasking Illuminating Powder in Shimmering Buff #1. So we have my favorite nude, which is NUDESTIX Cheek and Lip Pencil in Whisper. And this is just my perfect nude. Like, it's not too light, it's not too dark, it's just perfect. And I'm putting it up against my favorite nude from ColourPop, which is Tiptoe. It's their Luxe lipstick, right? Is that what it's called? This is a little bit pinker, I want to say, but it's very, very close. And finally, I'm going to set each side, first with my Cover FX Illuminating Spray on this side. And then with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Cucumber 3-in-1 Primer Water on this side. And I have to say, for a drugstore primer, the spray on this is sensational. Now, I just used drugstore lashes because I don't own any like luxurious high-end lashes because I don't want to spend 20 bucks on lashes. And this was the final look. Which side do you think looks better? Do you think a side looks better? I think both sides look great, but this is my point. I like my high-end products. 95% of these products I really do like and I don't regret buying them. I love a lot of them. But nobody needs these things. Nobody needs to spend almost $1,000 on makeup. Like, that's crazy. You can find just as good of stuff at the drugstore. Now, like I said, I do like my high-end stuff and I like seeing new stuff come out. And I do think a lot of these things are worth the price, but you don't need to spend all that money on makeup. The drugstore has just as good stuff for 1/8 of the price. Like, I don't even know what the equation would be for it, but under $100, you can get amazing makeup yourself from the drugstore. Left, right, I don't know actually. There's certain parts, I definitely like this eye better because I love that blue. I think that blue is just gorgeous. I like the face makeup on this side, but like I like the foundation, how this looks better. I like my Whisper shade better. I like the brows better on this side. I think I actually like this primer water better for setting. It's a mix. It's a mix for me. I like a bunch of different things from both sides. But let me know what you like the best from the bottom below. What products do you have at home that you're like, oh my god, this stuff is amazing, and it's drugstore? Or you spent so much money on it and you're like, oh my god, this stuff is amazing, and it was high-end. Let me know in the box below, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.